let the dogs out? Who 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 let the dogs out?
Hey everyone, it's Pup Twigs here from Unleashed and from Orlando, Florida. And joining me from Druitt, California is Alpha Pup Templar.
Anaheim, California. Druitt's my last name.
Oh. Hey everyone, it's Pup Twigs here from Orlando, Florida. And joining me today as my guest is Alpha Pup Templar from Anaheim, California. How are you?
Doing pretty good today.
Good, good. So I'm going to kick it right off with getting a little bit of history about you and your puphood. Tell us how you come up with Alpha Pup Templar, and also a little bit about your puphood that you got on.
So my pup name Templar comes from the fact that I am an excommunicated member of the Catholic Church who took the Knights Templar Holy Orders.
Oh, wow.
This particular puphood, my signature puphood that I'm wearing, is a combination of the aesthetic designs between Heavy Arms Gundam and Ava Unit 1, my two favorite mecha of all time. And the final design was done by Space Pup Silver, and the hood itself is made by Rough Stuff.
Wow, that is a very cool pup hood. I love it. So tell me, how long have you been a pup?
I'd been kink curious since about 2008. Actively looking to learn about kink since 2016, and then an active member of the community since 2018.
Okay, so you've been in it in some form of it for quite a while. So what have you found that has been the easiest for you in the community, and then what have you found that's been a little more difficult?
Just easiest thing for me in the fetish community since I moved out to California is finding spaces to learn new things. LA is spoiled for choice on events and educational opportunities for most topics.
Yeah.
And then the hardest thing for me joining the fetish community out here in California was unlearning all of the really terrible hate and racism that was very subconsciously imbued into me from growing up in such a racist state like North Dakota.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, if you had the ability to go out and change one thing about our community and make it better, what do you think you would want to change?
More asexual title holders.
Oh, there you go.
In the 4,000 title holders in the US, 4,000 plus actually, there is one currently reigning asexual title holder, which makes for a 0.025% representation rate for a group that makes up anywhere from 5 to 10% of anyone's community.
So what
that's
state?
Just ridiculous.
What state is that person title holder in?
I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because I only found out about them through SoCal Leather organization, because that one person is in a reigning title holders chat with Mr. SoCal Leather.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I would. Yeah, we need more. They're out there. We just
a title holder for 10, like upwards of 10% of your community. That's not acceptable. We purport ourselves to be this all-inclusive, all-representative community, and we've basically entirely silenced the ace community out of fetish from the title circuit.
Okay. And yeah, I had to go in and read up a little bit on asexual, because I wasn't familiar with it, and I did that before we jumped on here because I wanted to learn something about it and about you and everything. So yeah, I agree with you on that. So if you had a friend there in Anaheim that wanted to get into pup play but just didn't know what to do yet, what advice would you give them?
Well, actually, this is something I handle quite often with people coming into the fetish community, and is the focus of my event, Misfit Mutts, up at Rocco's in West Hollywood. It is a free to access, open to the public fetish education entry point style event. We just take your questions, answer them without judgment, provided you're engaging us in good faith. And this has led almost a dozen people to further engage with other fetish venues, such as Cantina Kennel, Howl, Chewy's Kennel. And just this last run in February, we had a guest come in, learn about fetish, and then immediately buy a membership to one of the dungeons and 3 tickets to different educational classes that they were hosting this year.
Wow. Well, yeah, I know you had mentioned that you're a fetish educator, so I guess that's, that kind of gives you that ability to help people along when they're trying to decide if they want to get into this or not, which is really awesome. So when you think about, your joy, what brings you the most joy out of being in this community?
Honestly, it has been learning more ways to express the types of intimacy that I desire on a physical level without having to overly layer them with sexual energy, because I myself don't express a lot of sexual energy most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And learning about fetish, learning about non-sexual physical contact through fetish has allowed me a better vernacular to communicate my intimacy desires.
Okay, all right. Well, and I know a lot of pups have these items. I don't, but do you have any specific play toy when you're in your pup head space that you like to have around or play with?
Let me grab him
Sure,
because he's
sure,
almost
go right
vertical.
ahead. Oh, nice. Yeah,
His
all
name
right.
is Ragley.
What's
He's a
his
little
name?
dinosaur. I got him from Build-A-Bear,
Oh,
and he's
that
my
is,
little gaming totem.
I love it. Yes, that's awesome. So,
Also, he plays Megamind.
so I know it runs rampant in, well, a lot of people have. It's not just our community, but when you think about mental health, what does being able to get in that headspace do for your mental health?
So that's not the correct term. The proper term in this case would be mental wellness. Mental health specifically refers to dealing with psychological or physical based psychological issues, treating them on a medical level to either long term correct or to correct an imbalance in physiological substances such as neurotransmitters, hormones, or etc.
Okay.
Mental wellness in this case is a much better term because it's a short-term solution.
Okay.
When I go into pup space, when I get into, like, say, I'm going to hug everyone, I'm going to say hi to everyone, super extroverted zoomies puppy mode, I'm not thinking about the literal cacophony of endless problems I experience on my day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I turn off the world for that time period and I focus on the me that I would be if those problems didn't exist. And it's a form of mental wellness. You can have great mental wellness while having poor mental health, and vice versa. You can have great mental health, but poor mental wellness, because wellness comes down to your day to day acute actions, where mental health is the much more chronic, long term outlook on it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate it. So, what do you like to do and get out and do there in Anaheim as in hobbies?
I am the entirety of the Orange County pup scene.
Really?
I host every single event, every single space, every single meetup. So I actually don't get to enjoy puppy play when I'm in Orange County,
I was going to say
unless I'm having a private play date.
that's got to keep you busy all the time.
No, I only do quarterly events
Oh,
in
you do?
Anaheim.
Okay.
And I host them here at my home because I have a pool, a spa, a grill, a large backyard. This room that you currently see now is our family room / gaming / creation space, where if I just actually move slightly off, you can see that we have a literal shit ton of video game consoles.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a closet right over there where I have about 20 to 25 different board games, card games, and other such activities. Over there, I have all of my mosh pit mats that I can double layer, with the base layer being those really shock absorbent gym mats, and the second layer being a softer felt carpeted mat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my rolling BDSM chest, which is a mobile dungeon kit that I use for that.
Wow. So you just have the whole setup right there. So that is really cool. I like that. So do you have any animals / pets of your own?
So there is a rabbit where I live, but that's not my pet.
Yeah.
And we actually just put down our fur baby last week.
Oh, okay.
They had a stroke and were almost entirely immobile and fully incontinent.
Oh.
So it was their time. It was very sad.
Yeah.
I just hope that when my disability comes through, I'm able to get a seizure alert dog, and hopefully I can get like a medium breed so that can help keep me physically active too.
Well, I hope so too and stuff. I hate to hear that you had to put a pet down. That's always tough when you have to do that. So you've already kind of talked about the events that you have going on, especially there at your home and everything. But you also told me that you are a fetish go-go dancer, and tell us a little bit about that and the other things that you do.
So I'm a man of many, 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 many hats. So aside from my quarterly events that I host here at my home in Orange County, I also host Misfit Mutts up at Rocco's, which is a pup event space, which is asexual first designed by virtue of venue, activities, and presentations, with the educational sub-theme to help people get into the fetish community.
Okay.
I also run and produce a drag show called Night Owl Drag at Hamburger Mary's in Long Beach, which is a fetish-friendly alternative drag home for those who either want to get into doing alternative drag or are established in alternative drag.
Mm-hmm.
Our current show is St. Patrick's Day themed. That's going to be this Tuesday. And then our next show is going to be 3 months later in June, which is going to be Has Been Hotel and Health Boss themed. On top of that, I do fetish go-go dancing as well as regular go-go dancing across Southern California. I'm very new, so I haven't had a lot of bookings yet, but my most recent 2 bookings were at Mickey's in WeHo in full fetish gear for the guests. And they seem to respond very well to it overall. I also am an event organizer, as I mentioned, with Misfit Mutts, my quarterly events, stuff like that. Drag show, and I have taught BDSM fetish at a collegiate level for both UCLA and Orange Coast College.
Wow. Well, I want to kind of go back to one thing you said. You said that fetish go-go dancing. So I know go-go dancers typically don't wear many clothes, but when you said you're in fetish gear, give me an example of one that you might wear as a fetish gear and go-go dance.
You got it. Because I've got my patches for fetish on the arms. I've got my pack insignia.
Uh-huh.
Got my Haunt 50. It's heavy leather, and then I can strip down into, say, a leather harness and jock from here.
Okay.
And then I'll be wearing my pup hood, a collar, my mitts, and I'll have a leash to hand off to guests to play with them.
Oh, nice.
During Hot Rod, I brought 4 different versions of me. I brought this version of me where I just had my leather jock and harness because I hadn't finished getting the patches on here yet. I had my Sparkle Pup hood. I had my Muscle Pup hood and a gym outfit. And then I brought my newest hood, Speaks with Eagles, which is a representation of my Lakota Sioux heritage. And people did not like him. They were legitimately terrified. And then, except for Selena S. Titties, But like that bitch loves everything.
Yeah.
I've met her so many times. She's such a sweetie. She's so nice. But Speaks with Eagles is just gonna sit on the shelf for a while. He's a little bit too aggressive.
Okay, well, that's
But I actually have an entire Google Drive folder that I can share with anybody who asks of all of the different outfits and stuff that I have available for go-go dancing.
oh, nice.
And it's nicely organized based on hard fetish, soft fetish, underwear only, and then various videos
Mm-hmm.
and complete outfit sets.
Well, that is so cool. I really, really like that. So this is
I
the
own my own business, so I got to be organized.
oh, of course you do. Yeah. I'm trying to be the same exact way. So this is where you get to ask my next guest a question. And what do you think you would want to ask them?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how evil are squeaky toys?
Valid question. So your question came from a pup in Little Rock, Arkansas. Uh,
Ooh.
his name was Pup Hatchie, Hatchi. And he wanted to know, how did becoming a pup help you improve your way of life and thinking?
It introduced me to so many very wonderful people who helped me learn about my social awareness and racial blind spots.
Okay.
And through being taught about those blind spots, I have transformed from just saying what I want to be and being a massive hypocrite about it to actually projecting a vast majority of those traits, both through word and deed. And I can't thank the Southern California puppy community enough for everything that they've done for me to help me become the person I've always wanted to be.
Great, great. So if someone wants to reach out to you, they see on here, what social media would you like to share for them?
So for YouTube, it's going to be Guard Dog Events YouTube channel. You're going to need to specifically search it as all one word. Otherwise, all you're going to get is police guard dog training videos.
Okay.
Facebook is Kevin Druitt, spelled Drewett. It's weird and Gaelic and odd. Instagram, Twitter are both Alpha Pup Templar, all one word.
Okay.
On Instagram and Twitter as well, Guard Dog Events, all one word. That's going to be the company page for all of my events, drag shows, and appearances that I am allowed to publicly broadcast. And then on Telegram, I am Alpha Pup Templar. On Recon, I am actually listed as a muscle slave rather than a pup.
Okay.
But that's its own thing. And then I'm also on Pup Space as Alpha Pup Templar.
Awesome. Well, you sound like you have just as many ways to reach you as I do on my end, because I got a ton of them, and it's hard to keep track of them all.
Oh, it is. But I try to keep my hands in as many cookie jars as possible.
Oh, I'm the same.
You never know when you're going to find something nice.
Yep, you're exactly right. So, any last words from Alpha Pup Templar before we get off of here?
What I want to leave the audience with is that asexuality is a spectrum. And if you have been ashamed to come out as an asexual, be it because you're straight up ace, demi, frayed, gray, spike, velus, caran, carond, or anything other than Faust sexual, it is because of Faust sexuals. Faust sexuality is the one spot on the ace spectrum where you are actively sex negative. And this has been the major mass media prediction of us basically forever, with the three most famous examples being Dr. Sheldon Cooper, Legoshi, and Gru. And it wasn't until Alistair, who while sex opposed for himself, has never actually shut Angel down from hitting on anyone else. He is a classic asexual, and Bibsy has only recently confirmed that he is not a romantic either. which is the other thing we're always paired with. So don't be ashamed of your ace identity. Be loud, be proud, because right now we don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Let's make our voice heard.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on here. I've enjoyed it. And I know that we will be talking again down the line.
Yay!
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.